Hello, Augie. Hello and welcome back to Art Therapy with Jenn. Today I'm working in my Dark Dystopian themed magazine collage art journal. And today is chapter 23, the last chapter. Oh my goodness. If you haven't tuned into my channel or this series before, what I do is I've done a new page in the book or chapter each week, which explores this theme of our dark dystopian world, and we try to see what story it's trying to tell us. Are the chapters connected? Are they not? There's no right or wrong answer. So it's magazine collage as well as kind of a thought or imagination exercise. And for this last chapter, I wanted to do something that I've done in other journals that I just think is a neat way to tie everything up, or at least this arc, right? You see there around my desk, I have all these little bits of paper everywhere. So these are little odds and ends and small images, little edges I've ripped off, things I've cut from other images, etc. and so forth. And as I've done all these chapters, I've saved them. And for the background on this page, it's just going to be all these little bits and anything I can find that is just going to be layered on top of each other, all these different colors, all these different shapes, textures, and we're going to see as it builds up what we're working with. I'm curious to know if y'all recognize any of the little bits from other chapters. I also think this is a neat thing to do, especially if you're new into like collage journaling, or you want to get in more of like a intuitive type journaling. That's kind of what I do. I just kind of lay everything around and pick stuff up and glue it down and commit and hope for the best. But just saving little bits and, cut off edges and just random pieces from other projects you're doing. I used to keep mine in an old pickle jar, and it outgrew my pickle jar, so now it's in a box. Although I about used them up for this project, so maybe I can go back to my jar. But just keep them somewhere and just, take those bits, lay them around your desk, and just kind of almost like a intuition exercise, and just start picking those little pieces and gluing them and layering up. And it's just, number one, it's just so fun. It gets your mind off some things. It lets you be creative. If you're using glue, you can get a little bit of glue on you and really get in there and just kind of just pick things and go with it and put things with other things without having to think about it too much, and layer them up and just get comfortable with just grabbing images and putting them together. And you can create some really just interesting, neat textures and backgrounds that you can use in journals, or even, put them on like a piece of cardstock or an old piece of a cereal box and use them and cut them into smaller pieces to use for things. No, the possibilities are endless. I have a lot of fun with the little, the remnant bits. And it's almost like for journals, I think this is the second or third journal I've done this, where I've just kind of saved up all the little bits. It's kind of a way to bring all those chapters together and kind of round it off. So I don't know, I'm just using all the colors. Got blues, reds, yellows, just whatever. It don't matter. I got a couple pieces of scrapbook paper in there. It's all good. So let's take a look at what we came up with. I'm really digging it. It's got a fun, kind of hopeful vibe to me. So let's add some people to it. So I'm going to be putting 6 different characters on this page throughout. And as we start putting them on, they're very different girls. They look like they're from different parts of, the world. So maybe they live in different type of geographical areas. They don't look like they might be the type that kind of hang out together. So as they kind of come on the page, we have to think, well, how are they going to go together? I don't know. We'll find out though. And just placing them around, I have 3 that are fussy cut and 3 that aren't. No rhyme or reason, just how it came out. And just, I don't know. What do y'all think? How you think they're going to fit together now that we have all 6 on there? And then I decided I had these flowers in my stash already fussy cut, and I wanted to add those as well. I just felt like, we've had flowers. I would need these flowers. And the one that I'm going to be adding here in a moment, after this one, it's actually the same one. I just found another page with this exact same flower that we used in chapter 1, the resistance and bloom. So I thought it would be neat and appropriate to use it on this chapter as well. And I'm just going to cut the flower in half and then put it on either side of the page there. Again, just to use it in a different way. So here's what it looks like with the people and those 2 flowers that I added. And then y'all, I just went a little crazy. I was like, you know what? I like those flowers on there. I want to add more. And I got this sticker book that I bought ages ago that I haven't hardly used. And it has a lot of these flower stickers in there. I didn't have any magazine, like fussy cut flowers in my stash that were the right size. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to use these stickers. I have lost my mind. I have never used stickers in this journal. But buddy, they're going on here. And I do. It doesn't bother me, the little border around them as well, where they're not like completely fussy cut. They kind of have those pastel background and a little bit of white space around them. I actually enjoy the contrast because they're kind of drawn on there, but they also look very real. So it's almost like people are remembering the flowers and bringing them to life through art until they can manifest them in the present. Maybe. Did I go too far? Maybe. Or maybe they're real flowers. I don't know. But I just started flipping through this book and just kind of placing flowers where I thought they should go. And I like to have them kind of going to the edge of the page, and then I would just tear off the part hanging over. Tell y'all what, I wish I had put more stickers in my journals, because it's kind of nice not having to wait on the glue to dry. But although I'll be honest, from this book, the stickers do not stick very well. So I would not be surprised if I don't have to go back and put a glue backing on them later. But for right now, they're doing good. Just all kinds of different colors, and it made me happier the more I put down. Let's take a look at it. Almost like we're having a garden come back. I was happy with it. And now let's put some words. You can see at the upper left there, I got my supervisor, Ollie. He jumped on this project, and he likes to supervise me and make sure I'm going in the right direction. And so went through my stash, and we are, for the first one, going to be putting 2 bits together. And it's going to say natural sanctuaries within. See there, Ollie approves. I was trying not to startle him, because I thought, Lord, he is going to run off this desk and all these words will go a-flying. It's untelling. And then around the lady there that's looking up, I think this was from something with her looking at like in a big aquarium up. But I just like the kind of dreamy, hopeful vibe of it. But I'm putting dreamers and then gather. And then in front of the girl with the white dress, it says, we will come out of this stronger together. And then to finish off the left page, this says, I hope that being forced to stop will allow us to be kinder and more mindful, so that nature can reclaim its rightful place at the center of our lives. Again, just pulling, as we talked about in other chapters, that like nature and flower metaphor. And then on the right page, starting up at the top, we're going to put hard to process. And then under that to the bottom part of our first scroll on the right page there, I'm going to be putting 2 parts together. It's going to say, when the rage fades and the protests end, heal. And that heal is going to go right on that flower there. So those will go together. And then underneath that, in a moment, on the next girl, we're going to be putting experiences that made them. And that one's just 1 piece. And for the next one, oh, I'm talking faster than I'm gluing. The next one on the bottom right is going to say, it's given us a good outlook that we'll be able to sustain this crisis and reemerge whole on the other side. We're going to put that right on the flower there. And then I'm just going to put 2 together, and it's just going to say, keep the future. So what do y'all think? Just going to glue that down, and then we'll look at that finished page. But I'm really glad. I think this last chapter here, it's ending on a hopeful note. We had some like deep, dark chapters going there, but I just love. It's very colorful with all those different backgrounds there, and then we have the flowers and all these different girls from all. To me, they're like from different locations, different walks of life, but they share in this one thing. They're starting to wake up, and we're starting to see the flowers bloom again and what could be. And I especially, like, it's a powerful imagery to me now that I'm looking back at it. The girl in the white dress, and then you have behind her head that little bit of the dome, where she's kind of looking like she's re-emerging, whether that's a dome over a city or like a metaphorical bubble that she's been in and not been able to see outside of. You know, we see that, and just this strong vibe, this dreaming vibe, just things that no matter how bad it's gotten, slowly but surely, people are waking up, and these, these seedlings are sprouting that I think can eventually become flowers again. And, the powers that be, or our main character, who I thought was a good guy, but we actually told the story of a bad guy throughout this. She tried everything she could to get rid of those flowers, and in the end, they still came back, kind of like that thing where people talk about you can, the weed growing up through the concrete. It'll just sit there, and eventually it will crack that daggone concrete and it will come up through there. So, I don't know, what should I call this one, y'all? Heal? I don't know. Stronger together? Gather? I don't know. Y'all will know by the time this goes up. Which I do apologize. It's a little bit later getting up than normal. I've just had a crazy weekend, and this day has gotten away from me, but we're going to get it. Especially this is chapter 23, the last chapter. My goodness. I'm really excited. I think I'm going to be able to film the full flip through tomorrow, so I should have that up next week for y'all. I'll have a short version where I just talk a very short intro, and then I just do a flip with music. And then for those of y'all that like the discussion and the longer videos and everything, I'm going to do a longer talk through one where I talk through everything. The cover, I'll also be talking about the inner and outer covers, which you all haven't really seen much yet. I had just completed those, and I just kind of worked on them as I was doing all the pages, so I didn't do them start to finish at one time. And so I just kind of worked on them as they came, and I thought, well, we'll just leave that for the flip through. But yeah, oh my goodness, fingers crossed I'll have some decent light. It's been so stormy and rainy here, But thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this chapter 23 and kind of the roller coaster of all the chapters we've been through, and kind of how it's ended on a hopeful note. And yeah, stay tuned. Like I said, next week we will have the flip through. I'm really excited to go back through it, especially now that it's completed and I can look back through the different imagery and the story and kind of what I think it means now, and it would just be a really neat discussion, and etc. and so forth. Again, thank y'all so much. I'm going to quit rambling so that I can get this video started exporting so I can get it out on the day that it's supposed to get out. I'm going to be a little late, but we got this, y'all. Thank y'all so much, and I will see y'all next week with another video. Bye, guys.